and good evening. Thanks for that, Mark. Nice to see you in chat, by the way, buddy. Good to see you.
Hey, Mark.
That's a good start.
Everyone,
Good question for the starting then. What's everyone's favourite spider? You're only allowed to pick
I
one.
love all mine, but it's a Metallica.
Good choice. I've got a feeling that Mark's going to be some sort of Pantherbeatus.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Antinius.
Yeah, very lovely spider. But you, Trond, what do you reckon?
For me, my favorite spider would have to be the Regalis.
Okay, yeah, that's a good looking spider. What about you, Steve?
I think I like the New World terrestrials. So I think what I've got, mine is probably my Agen.
Host
Yeah.
It was a tiny little sling, and it's about 2.5 inches now.
Yeah, the good thing with the Agens is they're such a common spider and so easy to get. People overlook them, but they are a powerhouse. They are like a tank. Their abdomen and carapace, they are just a unit of a spider, aren't they? Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And feisty as well, and always willing to eat. I think for me...
mine, Matt, looks like he's ate the next door neighbour's cat.
Maybe it has. I don't know. For me, my favourite actual spider I've got, I know I've got a soft spot for my Avic, and I don't mean any offence to her if I don't pick her, but I think I'll probably...
Hi, Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
It's either gonna be my Avic or it's gonna be my Amelia, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I quite like Percy as well.
Yeah, they're
I
nice.
don't handle, but I quite often handle it.
Yeah.
I often just want it in your hand, especially while it's eating. That worries me.
But then again, I've got a very, very soft spot for my H. pulchripes as well, because obviously the things I've been through with a couple of them, like with the 2 legs and all this, that, and the other. So it's hard not to grow attached to spiders like that. It's the only old world that I have had on my hand multiple times, that one. It's so calm and docile, and he's always out. Let's get up on big screen.
She's not here, Jenny.
That's nice. Real dark coloration as well. Oh, hello.
It's just so cool, isn't it?
They are.
I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't know.
Oh, dude. At least the thing is, I know it's going to Ling, you say?
Yeah.
It'll be looked after, mate. That's the main thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers, Trond. Thanks, dude.
No worries.
9 months. Wow. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Huh?
Yeah, time flies.
Oh, yeah. My Jackal Golden, he's in the middle of molting.
Nice. They are chilled out, that's for sure. Amy's been a member for 9 months as well. Appreciate it, Amy. Thanks for the support.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's not many old worlds to handle. I've handled a couple from the Harpacteria genus, actually, intentionally. I had a Dictator and the H. pulchripes, so both of those. But I've got 5 of the pulchripes, and they're just like, they are all different, but a couple of them are super chilled. Legolas is like, obviously. Ow! Ow! That.
Okay, yeah, no.
Oh my God, Steve.
Good lad.
He's proper, hold on a minute. You've got to go back on big screen. He is proper. Oh, there you go. He's let go.
Right. Do you want to go away?
That was a proper.
Hey, Phil.
Appreciate that, dude. Phil, incoming, dude. If you're around, I did send you the old link, didn't I? I did, yeah. Let's send this one over.
It's a little Mark.
That looked painful, dude.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm quite pleased to get now.
There you go, mate.
Yeah.
They are gorgeous. Like our one, what I'm
Probably.
more bothered about is if I try and force mine to be handled, I'll put my hands. Hey, Phoebes, I will put my hand in with the gecko and leave it in there. But the thing is, if I force it and it drops its tail, I will never forgive myself.
Yeah,
That's my
see,
Well,
mine,
Chris,
mine
it may drop
dropped
like
it. About that.
for no
Yeah.
reason at all.
Very much longer.
Right, what shall I get out next?
Right. Before we get into too much conversation, I'm going to put a link in. I was talking about this on the previous members live. If anyone is into the artwork, like where you have the aerosol spray painting and they do the planetary art with it, I don't know if you've ever anyone seen any of this before, but the guy who I've just put the link in for, Chris, he's also just recently returned to keeping spiders, and he's got a YouTube channel out there where he does all the spray painted planets and stuff like that. Very talented. Well worth going and checking out his page. He's got some awesome videos, and he definitely deserves the support because he's a super nice guy as well. So yeah, go and give him a sub if you wouldn't mind.
All right.
Done.
Yeah, he's well worth a watch. His videos are also like quite mesmerizing, I suppose is the word. You can sit and watch them, and just watching the process of them doing the artwork is pretty cool. Hey Phil,
Oh, is that the one?
and the second link I'm just going to put in as
Hey,
well
Phil.
is that channel there for Phoebes. So at the moment, Phoebes is sitting on 78 subscribers, and I'm pretty sure we can get her over 100 if we're nice this evening.
Yeah, I'm already subscribed to her.
Yeah,
Sub to both.
there you go. Yeah, you'll like the planetaries. I'm seriously going to message Chris and talk to him about buying a piece of one of his artwork because I want it on my wall. He does all the cityscapes and stuff like that with the big planets behind, all with the aerosols and everything. Really, it's brilliant to see. So I know there's a few people that do it, but his one is awesome. So
Yeah.
that's all right, Phoebes. Everyone needs a bit of support, so we'll get that up. We'll get those subs up. So yeah, go and give those two people a sub.
Hey, Phoebes.
Well, she's
How's
already
things
on.
with you, Phil?
She's already on 80 now.
Sorry, Mark.
How's things with you?
Yeah, not bad. Busy.
Yeah,
Getting
is your mum
hospital
better?
back. She's getting there.
Good.
Getting there. Something, but yeah, certainly getting hospital now in the tropical house.
Hey, Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Here's an actually. So we're having an interesting discussion, Phil. I don't know if you was listening to the
Thanks,
members. one.
Phoebes. Appreciate it.
I came in just to see Steve get annihilated by Cresty, which was hilarious.
Oh right, okay, that was funny.
What of all the things to get annihilated by a Cresty? Fantastic.
Interesting conversation we were having in the members live was talking about like spiders molting and things molting because of the change in heat and also the change in pressure. And Trond raised a really interesting question, and I gave my take on it, but it'll be interesting to hear what your thoughts are on it. So you get like people like Martin who go up into like the high altitude parts of Peru and find tarantulas that live at the top of the mountains, right? And you then get people who say, "Okay, fine, we'll bring them into the hobby," and they're now in the lovely, rather flat area of Cambridge, living in a tank in someone's house, right? the difference on its life, if it's used to extreme low pressure up at the top of a mountain, all of its life, compared to how those species would adapt to almost like sea level pressure. What's your thoughts on what effects that would have on that spider, do you think, or invert at all?
It's really understudied. Really understudied.
Yeah.
Like,
So you've got to almost go with an instinctual type thought there.
Hey, Philip.
there would certainly be an argument to say that potentially it wouldn't do well unless you can replicate that sort of conditions and stuff. So, like in the zoo sector, we'd be perhaps looking at like what specialist equipment might be needed, sort of thing, to try and replicate that kind of thing. You know, initially, because it's sort of like, does it? It's also a question: does it need those conditions, or is it just say it tolerates those conditions?
Yeah, exactly. Because we've said this before, haven't we? That animals don't necessarily live in the area that's best for them. They just live there because that's where they are breeding and
That's where they are.
survive.
So, I mean, goes by years ago, many years ago, when I first got into, when I was a kid. So when I first got into it, I knew a Spanish fire salamander breeder, and he lived both in Spain and in the UK. So we had that property in both. And his property in Spain was literally in the region of fire salamanders. So we had outdoor enclosures for them.
Yep.
He was like, I'm in the habitat. I just need to basically build a fence, a little wall that they can't climb over. That's their habitat. Struggled to breed them in their habitat. Brought them over to the UK and done outdoor enclosures in the UK and bred them in droves.
Wow. Yeah,
and he was literally his theory at the time. He was like, they're more adapted to they do better in the UK than they do in their natural habitat because he was like, it gets hot from and stuff.
Yeah, and this is the thing though.
It's an intriguing thing of like, just because animals are found in a certain area and it might have certain extreme temperatures, whether hot or cold, or certain extreme air pressure, doesn't mean it actually needs those.
No.
To survive.
We've had those discussions before, haven't we? Where we were saying that, like, you get people who have animals in captivity, and everyone talks about the fact that their animal, you shouldn't just have a pet to survive; you want them to thrive. Yeah. Which, in an environment in your house, is easier to do. But there's a lot of animals in the wild who probably are just surviving and not actually thriving because they're living in an area in the wild that it may have lots of food, but the actual environment isn't conducive to being a thriving environment for them. Like, if you could sort of, I think we said before, if you could hold an atlas up and any animal, I wonder how many species would say, actually, I'd prefer to live over there than here because it will be better for me condition wise. But the only thoughts I had on the pressure thing was whether or not it would, if you bought a captive bred one in, whether or not it would reduce its life expectancy simply because it would possibly do something like increase its molt cycle. Because when you have the change in pressure, everyone starts around springtime getting all their spiders molting, don't they? And it's heat and pressure and everything. I wonder if that would have an thing. It's interesting what Strog says there. The difference would possibly be because one's wild and one's been bred. If you breed in captivity, I wonder whether it's because of the way they've got their fluids in their body, whether that would almost adapt just naturally very quickly to a different pressure setup. It's definitely something that's an interesting point.
Yeah, and it's something that we may never even know. We may never find out.
No.
Kind of thing. And to compare the two, you would need, obviously, a study on a wild one from egg right until death.
Yep.
So, and just on one, it gives you one lifespan, doesn't actually give you an average at all.
No.
And there's not going to be any studies on their wild lifespan to compare then to captive from egg to death. And so many kind of different ways of setting up and ways of keeping to compare to actually work out what is best and stuff. Yeah,
it's definitely an interesting point because, like, I wonder whether, like, you know, you get these people that say, yeah, possibly with the pressure change equalised, like no different to spiral or fish. But you find that when there is a pressure change, people do end up getting a lot more molts in the spring. So pressure must bring on molt cycles as part of the change. I wonder if it's just because of the change that they weren't expecting, it can trigger them to molt, maybe. It definitely seems that way anyway. Because I know full well, as soon as we've had the pressure change around here, I was saying on the members stream earlier, since the 1st of April, I've had over 40 spiders molt. And that's not, some of the temperature changes haven't even been 1 degree, like, over those periods. And I've noticed that the pressure's changing because of the cloud cover and stuff like that. It's just weird. But it's interesting. I like all those sort of thought processes.
And I mean, you know, things like air pressure, we just don't really, you know, there's not that many studies done on air pressure and animals and how it affects and stuff. We don't really know how it affects us half the time.
No,
but, you know, definitely based on, so, you know, we know it affects amphibians because a lot of amphibians like do explosive mating, explosive breeding, and they do that in the middle of storms.
Yep.
Sort of thing, you know,
And
amphibians pair their frogs when it's storm, because that's the best time to do it, because that's when they naturally do it in the storm.
Yeah, maybe. Lower. That's an interesting point. Lower altitude, more oxygen freely available, so higher metabolism. That's a good point. Yeah, they might be hungrier up in the mountains and not so hungry down on sea level, possibly. That's an interesting thought, maybe. If their metabolism slows because of higher pressure.
And it was, you know, like studies been done with you know, different animals or like growth rates, like with different beetles and stuff. I mean, one was actually presented to Inlet Conservation Conference I went to years ago, Bristol.
Yeah, and
we kind of went, you know, and there was growth rates on, I think it was Curicula africana arensi, I think, the purple drill beetle.
Yeah,
and show that you know, keeping in a certain way and feeding the larvae so way kind of sped up their growth and this and the other, and doing another thing kind of slow down their growth. Kind of, you know, when yes, with the faster growth, we got a short lifespan. With the slower growth, we got a longer lifespan. We kind of went, yeah, but is one or the other wrong? You know, we don't really know which one's right and which one's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of always think, oh, a longer lifespan's better, but actually, is it? It might not be better because there may be more chance of them perhaps getting, you know, certain elements that we don't even know yet.
It's definitely better from a pet keeper's point of view, not necessarily better for them, because no one likes loss. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you see it, like historically with people like dog owners and cat owners, the amount of owners that don't make the decision for end of life at the, like, when they should have done, they leave it probably 6 months to a year longer, and the deterioration of the animal is crazy sometimes. And it's like, you're definitely right. It's a lot of people will definitely not. We
always think that. Yeah, our bias is, or it lives longer, that must be better, but actually it might not be better for the animal.
Yep.
So take into consideration and stuff. You go, getting kept. You know, there's so many variables with it. You know, like in captivity, bring a spider that's adapted to high altitudes or whatever. Only feeds maybe 2-3 times a year if it's lucky. And in captivity, it's perhaps going to be fed every week, every 2 weeks or whatever, so it's not hungry at all.
Yep.
And so it's never really going hungry. You kind of go, well, which one's better?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think a lot of people don't. They put their own emotions onto their animals. So as far as like,
we all do.
You know,
and it can be useful. It can be a useful thing to do.
No one likes death, do they? So it's a difficult one with regards to like letting pets go when they should go and things like that. So we also automatically associate. We want these things around as long as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
kind of my thought on that question also was because I was talking to Matt about it.
Hey, Moon.
Hi, man.
There's this
Hey, man.
scorpion species that they found up in the Himalayas that it survives solid frozen for 6 months.
Yep.
And like, would it be okay to bring it into the hobby or not? Like, because of, well, you can replicate the frozen part. You can chuck it in the freezer for 6 months. But,
Time to hibernate, dude. Time to hibernate. In you go.
It would sort of come down to does it need to go through that? Does it has it adapted to go through that because that's what happens with its habitat? Does it have to adapt?
It's
Does need to, and I think there's certainly inverts out there that need to be frozen. My colleague Adam, who's up at Isle Wildlife Park, he works with the pine hoverflies, and over winter they're frozen. He's literally looking after blocks of ice with his animals inside.
It's a real interesting thing with the freezing part, because obviously with the studies that have been going on recently, talking about, people say if you want to put a spider out of its misery, the most humane thing to do is put it in the freezer and let it and freeze it. And studies have shown that possibly isn't the case, because it can be quite traumatic with the fact that the crystals forming in all their hemoglobin and stuff like that. It's like
ice crystals form in the hemoglobin before the spider dies. Hours before. Hours.
Yes. So how on earth is a scorpion that lives on the Himalayas that spends its time in 6 months in a block of ice? That must be
evolution.
Painful process for it.
Well, it is. That's perhaps evolved a way of doing that where ice crystals don't form. Because you see that with certain frogs and toads, ladybirds, even certain butterflies. So there's animals that adapt over thousands of years to basically cope with that. It'll still take it takes a toll on them. Of course it does. But they've adapted to that. But that's obviously that scorpion that gets frozen for 6 months. That'll be very different to a heterometrus in the middle of the Thai rainforest. Where it would never get that cold.
Adaptations on some of the animals are absolutely unbelievable when you look at things that have happened. We were talking about the what's the snake that's got the spider shape on the end of its tail?
Well, the spider tail viper.
That's the one, the subtly named spider tail viper. Yeah. But there's no way that thing started life with that spider. It might have been like a tail that two pronged, and then evolution.
Over time.
And the genetic morph of that, the fact that if you've got one with two prongs, to be the dominant gene, you've almost got to get the other one with the same deformity to then mate, to then produce that as the thing that always happens with those, and then it develops that. It's just such a fascinating study. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's all. Yeah, again, it's all that survival of the fittest type thing. Ones that didn't have that were the ones that perhaps would have starved. Probably just starve because where they come from, they hardly ever get any food.
Yep,
hardly ever. And so the ones, the most are the ones with the that were looked a bit more spider, and then eventually they got more and more spider-like.
Yeah.
But that's over like thousands of years or whatever that's taken. But
it's still crazy over thousands of years.
Behavior as well, developing that behavior of moving it around and stuff.
But even for a change to happen over thousands of years, it's crazy to think of how that can actually happen from a genetic level. That something in their DNA has got to change to produce this. It's just it's mental. Oh, cheers, Chris. And welcome to the channel. This is Chris, who I was plugging his link on earlier. Awesome dude, honestly. Awesome dude.
I should have done both new accounts.
Yeah, Amy's asked. Well, let me go back to Moon. Moon said he's heard that a heavy brick is quicker, and as blunt as that sounds, it actually possibly is, because as long as that's done, it's instant, isn't it? It's hot. I couldn't personally do it, but it is effective.
It's instant and it's messy. and a lot of people can't do it. And there's a lot of people that perhaps wouldn't do it quick enough.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you also got people who might drop it and it only land on half of the animal, and then
That's it. So, like years ago, we actually within bars of things, and we actually asked, we was talking about invertebrate euthanasia a few years ago, kind of
Yep.
thing. We go, in zoos, we have a duty that we give our animals a good life, but also a good death, kind of thing. And all the mammals, birds, and reptiles and stuff, if they're ill and they're not going to get better, we euthanize. But it was a thing, even 5 years ago, that inverts weren't really thought about.
Yep.
Kind of thing. Us as a group, as a group of women, well, hey, we should be looking after them just as well as our tigers, our lions, our elephants, whatever. Surely we owe them this. Have there been any studies done? There wasn't at the time. No one had looked at it really. And so Venom Tech took it on to look at invert euthanasia techniques, compare things, and so compare with other vets around the world, and so, and then basically,
Hey, Tom.
then done a paper of doing recommendations. So they recommended up to about, say, like 2 centimeters.
Yeah.
Instant impact, and results much bigger than them, than the individual. Then bigger than that, their recommendation was lethal injection straight to the heart.
Yeah.
With saline.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so, what they found with scolopendras, well, with all centipedes, you had to go straight to the heart and then also the back end because it only kills one half of the centipede.
Wow. The trouble is with that,
like 4 times the dose of anything else.
If you go down that route with the lethal injection with saline, it's instant impact, but in the hands of the average keeper, that would be a nightmare because the amount of people who would mess it
it's not
up.
recommended for like a hobbyist to do. Or anything
No,
like that.
definitely not. So please don't start putting salt into your spiders
because you need to know the anatomy of the animal. So yes, it is just regular saline that you can just buy off the shelf, sort of thing. Stuff and that's stuff.
How many people do you think would make the mistake of trying to find a spot on the carapace to inject because they're looking for the heart?
Oh, don't. No.
How many people? Seriously, though, that's a
Too
serious
many,
question.
man.
There would be an
Too
awful lot of
many.
people that would aim for the body thinking that's where the heart is.
Yeah, no.
And this is the reason why people shouldn't be messing with things like this.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know if you saw what I put in chat, but
yeah, we've practiced it with toy tarantulas and toy scorpions.
Altitude scorpions, eh?
yeah, they found like in Tibet, in the Himalayas, they found especially the Hottentotta birula. They found of altitude up to 4,500 meters
Ian.
in the Himalayas.
How long would it take to freeze one? And how much of that would be torture? That's an interesting.
Well, the freezing aspect. They did mention about freezing. Problem with freezing is that your regular household freezer is not cold enough.
No. Something like minus 189 degrees they need it or something, isn't it?
It's basically like you were looking at minus 80 as a minimum.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, or maximum if you like.
Yeah.
So
You don't
minus 80 and colder.
So what you're saying is that you basically need to drown it in liquid nitrogen to.
Pretty much, yeah. Which everyone has access to.
The trouble is with household freezers is if you put it in your freezer at home, it could take days.
Yeah.
For an adult spider, it could take a couple of days. Because
Yes.
the thing is, all they do, what you don't with spiders, you might think it's passed away, but they just in cold weather. You look at a lot of Tom Moran stuff.
They just shut down and stuff.
Yeah, they don't fold up into a death curl or anything.
and it-
It's like they just get they
And
just get
like
docile.
when game was we had this twig with the Veterinary Invertebrate Society.
Yep.
And it was after we'd initially discussed this like a couple of years beforehand, and thought the research had started coming out and stuff. And Professor John Creeper, she said about where he was an invert vet back in the day, and he got sent a frozen spider
Right.
that wasn't frozen. Little
Wow.
thing. He was doing basically a PM on it, and it was actually still alive, but
That's
not
crazy, isn't
moving. He'd been in the freezer for, I think he said it was like nearly a week, kind of thing. And he was like, had ice crystals in, but he said it was still alive, and there was still a heartbeat going on.
Wow. That's just
Yeah.
sad, isn't
But
it?
it's like, he had to euthanize it, sort of there and then. And it's all like, that's why we don't recommend any invert unless it's you need to sedate first before putting in a household freezer.
Yep.
But sedate really, really heavily to point out it's probably going to be dead anyway from the sedation. And sedating it, that's not easy for anyone in the household because you're talking about getting bottles of CO2.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
The thing is,
And that can potentially cause, that can cause distress and stuff. So it's always a difficult thing. You're looking at that. What causes the minimum distress to the animal?
I'll be brutally honest. Unless your spider has something like a ruptured abdomen, or it's actually, going to pass away because of it's leaking fluid, or something awful has happened. Everyone who watched the channel for a little while would have seen the Harpacteria that I had with literally 2 legs, because we had to remove 6 legs during a molt, and it literally it was fine. I had people saying that spider should be put down, and this, that, and the other. Euthanize it. It's the kindest thing. And a couple of months later, with me hand feeding it every single couple of days, pushed it through to a molt. It molted. It grew 6 legs back. They were all tiny little weaky legs. It then went through another molt, and it's now 3 molts deep. And it is, you wouldn't even know. If I put my ones of all the same species next to each other, you wouldn't tell the difference on which one that was. People have DKS, and DKS has been shown that because of the amount of different symptoms that impact, yes, it is a neurological thing, but you get people that have had spiders molt, and it's okay. So imagine if you had a spider that you felt needed euthanizing because of DKS, and you're told on the internet that someone has had this happen. The next molt, and all of a sudden those symptoms have passed, but you've put it out of its misery by euthanizing it before you've given it the opportunity. So for me, I would always say, you can sense when things aren't right, but at the same time, if a spider wasn't well, they go downhill and pass away very quickly, naturally.
Yep.
So there's almost an argument for not even worrying about it. If it's still eating and drinking, you might as well just let it do its thing, is my opinion anyway.
Yeah, and it's funny because, it's not funny, but I sadly experienced this around Christmas time when I went home.
Yep.
And the airport left my suitcase outside for 5 hours in minus 25 degrees. I had 3 scorpions survive that.
Yeah. Well, Tom Moran, everyone sort of says, temperature you need between 22 and 28 degrees for this spider. You need this and this for this spider. Tom Moran regularly says on a lot of his videos, in the winter, his garage sometimes drops down to 15 degrees, and he has no ill effects. They just slow down and they start moving far less. You look at them and you think, oh, are they dying? And it's like, as soon as the temperatures slowly start to come back up, spider starts becoming active again. They know what they're doing. They've been on the planet longer than we have.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We've had spiders, Mark, that have had both fangs. You know, the fangs have been removed by whatever reason, and as long as they've had a slushy of mealworm slushy or whatever, next molt they got their fangs back. You know, they're amazing animals, really. But yes, interesting topic to start off with, eh? I'm sure Jeremy would have loved to have been involved, but unfortunately, I think he's cleaning his glass teapot that was kindly given at the last show. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. And I tend to leave mine, to be honest with you. You can see when they're not going downhill, but I've had mantis and spiders that you know that it's going to come sooner or later because of what's going on with them. But I've fed them. They've still... What's amazing is I've had a mantis that went blind, lost the use of its pedipalps, and then... or mandibles, sorry. And then it was... I was having like a slushy of mealworm on my hand, and I'd put the mantis on there, and it would crawl itself to the food and eat the food. And it was doing that for a good couple of months. But I wasn't going to put it down because it was still eating and it was still drinking. People may think that's cruel, but it was still doing what it wanted to do. They're funny things at times. They've got definitely a lot of fight in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to hear, Rebecca.
Yeah, well done. What?
Anyone else got any thoughts on that, or?
Well, yeah. It has been proven many times that nature knows best what to do. And we as humans are the one that keeps fucking it up.
Yep.
So, yeah. As long as it's eating and drinking, I'm basically with you, Matt, that just let it be and let it do its own thing. Because
I think it's important as well. I mean, I might get shot down a little bit. Maybe people have got different opinions, but I think it's important to go through that process. Whilst it's not very enjoyable for you as a human being to watch and experience the animal being in those bad conditions, it could prove that you may find something by doing this process and keeping it alive and giving it food, giving it what you may find something useful that happens in a few weeks or months down the line that all of a sudden helps another keeper. You know, and whilst it's quite hard to deal, like that spider I had with the 2 legs, it was so difficult to deal with every single day. It was like, you know, if you're quite an emotional human being, it wasn't the easiest thing to watch, but I think it was a really important experience. That's for sure.
yeah,
it's good for the hobby.
Yeah. I mean, even Luke at Spa, because this happened at Phil's show, and even Luke at Spa Spiders said to me he really, really didn't think that spider was going to survive. And but me and Chris carried on, and even Luke was saying it's unbelievable what's happened with it. I actually messaged Luke the other day because one of the spiders that I got from him, a mature male, literally just passed away. And I messaged him to let him know, and he assumed that spider had passed away like months ago. He was like, I don't know how that thing survived so long. It's unreal. Where did Phil go?
Oh, even I didn't notice that.
No, I'm not sure.
We've
Probably
put
accidentally
mantis in the freezer in the past that were dying, but wouldn't do it now.
No,
Just leave nature to take its course now.
And that's the thing, Mark, because it was the information given back then that was the kindest thing to do. You at the time would have easily thought that's the kindest thing to do and the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But now they're saying it's not. The fact that you're saying I wouldn't do it again proves that you're a good keeper because you're listening to the new news that's coming along. Whereas there are some people on some of the forums who would still say, no, that's the best way to do it and that's what we should do. And they're not learning.
Yeah, I've done this for 20 years, so I'll keep on for the next 20.
Yeah, and as I said to someone the other day, just because you've done something for a long time doesn't make you good at it. It just means you've done it for a long time. Like, you know, you can be married for 35 years and still be a crap partner.
Yeah.
Caroline Fest 2.0. Yeah. Phil Fest 2024. I want to know where he's disappeared. I reckon his phone's died. I reckon he's done a Chaz.
Tiger's chewed through the internet cable again.
Yeah, when he was on his live the other night, he kept accidentally pressing the button and shutting himself out.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, I do like all that stuff with regards to people giving care. There's a couple of channels I follow on Instagram and TikTok and stuff where they rescue beardies that haven't been looked after, or the previous owners weren't aware that they needed this, that, and the other care-wise, and they've got severe MBD. And in a lot of respects, a lot of vets would put these things down because of the way that they are. But these people give them a really good life. Some really good, like, good keepers out there that do exactly what needs to be doing, like, you know. Oh, here he is. Look. Oh, right. Hold on a minute.
I'm back.
Hello. I do love S Club 7. You're right.
My Wi-Fi decided to turn itself off.
Yeah, we were wondering what was happening, whether it was a gremlin had chewed through a cable, or whether you'd done a Chaz and let your phone die.
No, I said Tiger.
Oh, Steve, that's awesome, dude. There you go. Scorpion with 2 missing pedipalps. Previous owner wanted to kill it. I've had it 3 years and hand fed.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
That's cool.
It's always good to see that. Like I say, the only time I've ever had, I mean, mind you, it passed away really quickly, but the only time I was thinking about doing it, I had one of the scorpions from, do you remember those scorpions from Phil's show, Mark? The ones that Steve gave out?
Mark.
One of them, yeah, so Mark had them, didn't he?
Yeah.
But one of them had loads of mites all over it. I sent you the pictures, didn't I?
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't think the mites were the cause. I think they were just realizing that was a dying scorpion, and so the mites had just gone crazy getting ready on there. But I was brushing it with a paintbrush every day to try and reduce the mites and washing them off and stuff, but it still passed. But they're the only times when I'd possibly consider it, because it was in a separate, I had to move it to a separate room because you never know what's wrong with them, you know. But so, are you looking forward to BTS, Phil?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I think they should rename it though to Phil's Birthday Festival. Like that'd be better, wouldn't it?
That's it. I might think to Ray about that.
Yeah, see what he says. I think I know what Ray. I think I know what Ray might say to you, but
Well, I felt that way might say to me as well, but
I don't think Amy would be able to cope with the amount of cakes. She'd have to bring.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We'll have to organise something more for the birthday this year.
Is Amy bringing cakes?
Well, I don't know because she'll probably want to, but we're going to be there from the Friday.
All right.
She did mention cakes, but she mentioned Steve's not getting one.
Well,
She can always put chocolate concrete. That'll be all right.
Do the dairy-free ones.
She's going to put
No,
extra eggs in his one.
She would have to if she was going to bring any herself, she would have to make them like either Wednesday night or Thursday daytime.
Yeah.
Getting in it before getting here, probably Thursday night. Right.
The risk you've got, really, rather than anything happening to him, is the fact that if she makes them that early and you go Friday, there's none going to survive until Sunday, are there? To be honest, come on, Phil.
Me and Adam, we're going to.
None are going to make it to BTS. None.
Sort of thing, but also I'm not going to say what, but I'm going to have a limited amount of stuff on my table, which I've never had on my table before.
Tablecloth?
Always got a tablecloth on there.
What, secrets or things you'd be happy to reveal, or just things you've got planned and prepped? Are you going all Luke, where it's all like, no, I've got things, but I'm not telling people?
Yeah, I've got things, but I'm not telling you.
Nice. That's good, though. That's good. People,
You've got to come to my stand early.
Yeah.
Because it is very, very limited numbers.
Right, okay. Things that you've managed to get in, or things that you've managed to breed? Oh, Phil's gone all silent.
Again.
Things that you've bred or things
I'm
that
not
you've
saying
got?
we have to
Oh,
go.
okay.
Need to
That's
find
good. I like it. You've got to get to my stand early to come and find out. The advantage that most of us have got is most of us are going to be in early before the public anyway, so we'll know. Or are you going to go all? Are you going to go all? Are you going to go all Clayton and have a tablecloth over all your products before the show starts? Is he frozen again? Oh yeah, isn't he? There we go. Look.
Good night, Phoebes.
Right,
So-
Frozen again.
Night Phoebes, night Phoebes. Everyone who's gone to subscribe to Phoebes, thank you for that. Honestly, she definitely deserves more subs. And looking at it,
Night Fabs.
she's got up to 89, so she's got 11 or 12 new ones. So that's good going, isn't it?
Almost one. Bye,
Yeah,
See you, Phoebes.
90.
90, nice. That's good. Yeah, well done, Phoebes. 90 subscribers. You'll get that 100 soon. We'll plug the channel. Don't worry.
I just subbed. And there was someone else, wasn't there? Chris.
Yeah,
He does the
you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
Chris Hayes.
Steve, I don't know if you heard earlier, mate. I've managed to sort my car woes out. I won't say too much yet, but I've managed to sort my car woes out.
Don't
Did
jinx
you
it.
get what you were looking at? What you
Yes.
told me? Yeah.
Yeah. I got a very, very good deal that I couldn't really turn down. So
Awesome.
I took it out for a test drive today, and I had a smile on my face from ear to ear. It was much better. It was much better to drive, and it had far more tech on it than I thought it had from the pictures. So I was glad I went.
It's got to be better than that Canary.
Yeah, what was it that he called it the other day? I can't remember. I had a guy at work turn around and say, "Oh no, what's happened to the Midas mobile?" Yeah, so the Midas mobile will be no more. I've now got the Arctic Auto.
Well, you needed a white car. You do live in Essex.
Exactly. I know, and with the branding of it as well, it's definitely. I feel like I belong in Essex now.
Why you didn't get a Scooby?
I've had one of them. I've had a Scooby in the past. I had number 150 of the first 200 Subaru STIs ever built,
Oh, did you?
and they
Mine
had
made sub 100.
the 150 because the first 200 they had were all basically taken off the WRX production line, stripped down, and then hand built with all the STI stuff. And they were all the engines were badged up from number 1 to 100. But my one had, like they say, they had no ABS, no airbags, no side impact bars, no safety, nothing. It was just an aluminium thing on a big engine. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I made a package in his and it didn't have to go.
I didn't have an Escort Cabriolet. I did have an Escort 1.6 SI, but I never had the soft top. I did want one when I was younger, but I never got one.
Yeah, cold drink.
But yes, I've gone full Essex mode with this latest edition. The Scooby was good. I wish I'd never got rid of it. It was an amazing car to drive. It wasn't so much how miles per gallon it did, but how many gallons per mile.
I've had weird cars. I like Russian cars. I like Ladas. They just never break down.
Yep.
Hey, Osman.
Hi, Osman.
Hey, Osman.
What? Got blocked in.
Good evening from Turkey.
Hey, Osman.
Osman.
Yeah, Osman. Hey, dude. Yeah. I'm glad you got there safe, dude. Yes. Oh, I'll tell you what, though. Yeah, we had a PT Cruiser as well. We actually got it off of a friend because the wife wasn't going to be driving anymore and Kath needed a car. And they said, oh, you can have this PT Cruiser off us. So we had that PT Cruiser. It was a really nice car to drive. Funny shape, though. But yeah, really nice car to drive, those were.
car I've had with the highest fuel consumption was a Chevrolet Starcraft,
All right.
the cargo van things with.
I had a Mitsubishi L200, which drank like a lot, but they're big trucks. But the Scooby, it was ridiculous. I used to take it to Santa Pod and quarter mile it as well, and used to take it on track days and stuff. And it's like, it's just ridiculous. Like the amount of fuel I used to burn through. But this was when fuel was like not a silly price. There's no way I could afford it now.
No.
Capri's had an amazing engine. It was actually funny though. It was a Capri that like I did my first ever quarter mile against. The thing just disappeared into the distance, and at about halfway mark, I went past it like it was standing still. 4-wheel drive, and they're no good at quarter mile to start with, but once they get up to speed, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like the Brooklands. I did the 2.8, the body kit.
Yeah, Jay. I had the L200s when they first came over here, the double cab, but it was ridiculous. Mitsubishi, unfortunately, don't do pattern parts, do they? And because they don't do pattern parts, when it came to replacing the discs and pads on the brakes on the L200, I almost fell over with the amount of money they wanted, and you couldn't go and get like a third-party brakes and pads and stuff for the L200 because it's all their own stuff. Absolute pain in the bum. Oh, Ford Ranger's cool. They're cool. I like them. I like all the new trucks. They're all big. When I was out in Dallas, and you see the ones like the F350s with the double back wheels and then the double thickness back wheels, and they're big trucks. I do like a big truck.
Yeah, my dad had one of those. That was a Chevrolet with the dual back tires and stuff. That was really nice to drive.
Hi, Jay. Long time no see.
Did I send Jay the link for this one or what? Because I know I gave him the link for the other one. I probably didn't. Yeah, I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. He obviously doesn't love us enough, eh?
He might be at the pub.
He might be at the pub. He could live stream from the pub, give us all a laugh. Ideal for our motorways, you mean? The big trucks nowadays. It's like as long as you've got a winch and stuff like that, just so you don't bottom out and get stuck in a pothole. There was a Instagram account and a TikTok account where this guy used to just go around planting, go to garden centres and buy all like the little tiny like flowers and stuff like that, and then go and pot up in the potholes overnight. So when they come back, they had like these little flower beds instead of holes.
That's different.
Yeah, it's brilliant though. It makes a point. There was a guy who put a little conifer, like sapling, like conifer, like I don't know, a foot tall or something, and he planted in and put a little rockery in there and stuff like that on one of the ones we've got on the roundabout around here. Yeah, Shane Craig. Yeah, exactly. I think so, Dave.
Where are you today?
To be honest with you, he's probably helped that he helped design the wheel. So
Yeah, but a clever guy thought to put a hole in the middle.
he just had his wheels for plates. Still struggling, Mark, aren't you?
Yeah, still got a bit of a cough.
Hopefully it'll pass in next week, mate, though.
Yeah, it should do.
It better, because Nat wants a hug.
She's going to get one. You know, I'll always give Nat one.
Yep. Wants a hug too.
That's what I want to do.
Got him, Mark.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
We're just laughing about you.
And to be fair, Mark, she did just wash her hamster.
You did.
Sorry, guinea pig. It was a guinea pig, wasn't it? Hamster fit more appropriately for the joke. Oh.
I ain't got my mask anymore, Strugs. My son sold it.
I can get you the luminous green one, Mark.
Oh no, people had seen me coming.
Yeah, I'm going to get a mask for BTS just in case.
Well, I wonder how many people after the Capital show. I wonder how many people will actually.
Well, I'm just going to put it on for certain people, especially Chris. He was giving everyone COVID.
It's funny. Did you see the photo? You know the photo we took at the end of Capital where we're all standing in a line.
Yeah.
Did you see Chris's updated version? As people were coming down with COVID, he started putting X's over them, so it was like marking out all the people that ended up with COVID out of it. It was ridiculous, really, because every single person virtually in that entire list.
Yeah.
Rebecca, my mate, used to have one of those, and he said it was brilliant because he could just, when he looked for parts, he just looked for both cars and picked what was cheapest because they're basically the same. It's just different names.
Yeah, my brother had a Subaru Justy, and it was the 4x4 version as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like assist wheels or something. I'm not sure how it was worked, but yeah, tiny little thing because it had a button on the gear lever. Yeah, that was funny. That.
How many tables you got for BTS, Phil? The one or?
Yeah, just the one.
I think Jeremy's got the one as well, hasn't he? I think.
I would have liked to, but yeah, I couldn't afford to at the time when I was booking.
Is it quite expensive to have the tables there, or?
I think they're the most out of the Evo shows. They're the most expensive, but it's only by a little bit more. So, at that time, I was also like booking other shows at the same time and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Oh, actually, a question for you. Like with regards to your mum's present, you gone and actually got the present now, or?
yes.
All right. Okay.
Steve was there.
Oh,
Steve
right. Nice. Was it a good day? Was it?
Very
Yeah,
good
it was.
Was she overwhelmed with it, or was she really excited about it? Like, yeah. Did you get any photographs of her, like when she got them and stuff like that?
No, because we all had a tortoise in our hands.
Oh, I'm glad that you had so many people that took part in that to help her get it. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and the amount, like, I mean, that blew me away. Just the amount, because a lot of people were very, very generous.
Yeah,
a lot of people were, and a lot more than I could have ever expected, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think your mum's a lovely woman, so like people are always gonna put in their pockets for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Every show she gets me dairy-free chocolate, so.
I'm gutted Steve's not coming to BTS, but it's I'm gutted, mate.
BTS,
I'm not sure what happened, but he had to give up his table basically, and it's now sort of been passed on to someone else. So no 3D printed stuff, unfortunately.
It's stuck in there. I didn't even see. I just heard you. Where's that weight come from?
I also come in because I'm on Matt's team, so he doesn't need to like add me or anything. So I just sneak in.
Yeah, it's not like everyone else. If I don't send the link to everyone else, then they just don't show up. If I don't send it to Leah, she just arrives.
Yeah.
How's the chair, Leah?
Really good. I need to put the back up a little bit because I'm nearly lay down, like I'm that far back. But other than that, it's perfect.
Good.
Oh, there you go. He's got festivals and 2 DJ gigs that weekend.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the money,
enough,
income comes first, mate, and it's going to be if you're earning from it, isn't it? Jeremy's table is, I think, exactly the same spot as last year. It's on the end of opposite the end of where the BTS merchandise is from the BTS Society. That's nice. So right up the top end.
Oh, hang on. Sorry,
yeah, no, my mum had no clue what we were doing. Yeah, the day after the Capital show.
Wow.
Where we were going at all. She sort of started guessing. We went to a restaurant that she quite likes, but I haven't been to for a while.
Yeah.
And had a carvery.
Right. Okay.
She thought that was kind of it. But where that restaurant is, we have to then go past, basically, near enough where a fairly big shop is. So yeah, because she's like, "Are we going there?" You know, on the way, like, "Are we going to Swallow Aquatics?" Sort of thing. And we're like, "Oh, no, we're not." But we could pop in there on the way back. We've got to go past there, sort of thing. So make out as if that was her idea to go in there. And then, like after a meal, you know, Jen covers like, "I'll see you. Have you been to Swallow? But you know, whilst we're this way, we'll show you Swallow Aquatics kind of thing." So made out that that's, you know, I did that. She was like, "Oh, you could buy me this for my birthday." Point out like the pygmy hedgehogs and stuff, and this and the other. "Oh, you could buy me this for my birthday." I was like, "Oh yeah, good luck," kind of thing. And they got out to the outdoor, where they've got like a herd of soul-carter tortoises. They've got sheep and stuff where you can just go in. You can actually go in and sit with the tortoises and even feed the tortoises and stuff. And me and my dad and my mum know the manager of the place, and he happened to see my mum just sitting somewhere else. He was like, "Oh, you might as well come and sit with the tortoises," because he knows she's a tortoise person. Come and sit with the tortoises. It's a better place to sit for you to sit. And like tortoises, come on. And so it's
just left.
You know, interested in Burmese.
Just cast a shadow in the.
Know about it. He was like, "Oh, do you want to sneak off now and have a look at them?" Sort of thing. So I was like, "Yeah." So yeah, me and Steve started walking up, and I was like, "Where you go?" He was like, "I'll do them." So I was like, "He just wants to chat with me about a bug issue. He's got an issue with some of the inverts or one of the inverts he's not sure about. He just wants my opinion on it." And he was like, "Oh, this bugs I'll say here with the tortoises." And I was like, "Yeah, you say there." Sort of thing. So we all went back into the shop, and he got out a few of the Burmese tortoises for us to look at. And then as we was looking at them, she then came back into the shop and came around the corner. As me and my dad had seen one of the tortoise each. Looking at these Burmese tortoises, being like, she didn't twig then. She was then like, "Oh, let's have a hole, you know." And then was all like, "Oh, yeah, how much are they?" Kind of thing. Sort of thing. And at which point, yeah, because I say his manager plays, he knows us. He was like, they're 200 each, but for you, they're 150. So he instantly discounted them.
Wow.
Straight away. So then I was like, "Oh, 150, that's all right," you know. So at which point, because I had 200 quid with me, my dad, and then everyone else putting in, I had 200 quid doors on. So I was like, "Oh, thank God, you know, we can get one for 200. So as soon as he knocked down, I was like, "Well, in that case, you've got 50 quid to go towards something else because I've got 200 quid from everyone. We're getting one anyway. So you can choose which one you want. You're trying to choose which one we preferred." So it ended up getting 2.
Oh, brilliant. That's so good.
So I paid, so 200 went on one and then 50 quid on one kind of thing.
Oh,
so
nice.
she just put the other 100 towards the second one.
I wish the swallows near us would take advice off of the keepers that I know in the area, because even like, you know, Nat and Jim, they live in the town where our swallows is, and it doesn't matter even if they go in there and talk to them about the reptiles or the inverts or anything. If we see something,
swallows.
Our swallows, yeah. There's plenty of swallow aquatics around the country, Leah, and we have one in our town, in the town next to me. Okay, yeah, I know it's after 9 o'clock, but you could keep your brain like at least a foot above the gutter level, rather than it
No,
just falling down a
doesn't
manhole
live
cover and then
above
rolling
the
to the
gutter
bottom
level,
of the
though, Matt.
drain.
You know that.
You know,
Mum,
but
let me-
yeah, so we go in there, and they went in. I went in there the other week, and they had the calciatums, and it's like in a bra plast tub, flat, with a bit of cork bark in there, soaking wet, and I'm like,
I mean, this place, I don't know if Steve noticed, but this place, it's not great for the invert side of things because they also had the larger bra plus flat soaking wet with with
Amori?
maculatum in.
yep.
And stuff.
All the dry species, they seem to. The trouble is, you never know whether you've just gone in after they've just put a quick mist on the side of one of the pieces of enclosure, or whether they live in soaking wet conditions. But they tend to look wet. But I said to the person about the calcium, I said, what are these like for you? Sort of leading into the questions, and they said, "Oh, really, really bad. Like feeding's a nightmare." And I said, "Well, if you turn the tub like that and just have it like that, it might be a little bit less pissed off because the substrate instantly sort of moved to the bottom and the cork bark was then up." And they said, "Oh, right." I said, "Like, I understand them wanting things on display so people see them and buy them. When you've got them set up like that, they're not going to see it whether it's on the side or on its end. So you might have
And
set up
these aren't on
correctly."
display anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
Leah's frozen. Look at that. Oh, that's
Man.
moving.
Yeah.
Matt's got a present for your head.
Oh, it looks
Some
like
Robert
I've got it.
Redford. It's on your head.
Give me a week out of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's only a little. That's only a little bit. My rabbit's molten.
Yeah, this way it's good for, like I say, it's good with its reptiles, especially its tortoises, because
Yeah.
the manager's very much a
Hello,
tortoise.
Alexa.
They have a lot of tortoises in there.
Our one's
Sure,
got a lot of frogs.
Hi.
They keep the frogs really well, and they keep all their.
Video,
They've
she
got
said
like
hi.
tegus and the lizards and stuff like the beardies and everything. All the stock stuff, really well kept. But the spiders are inside of one of the vivs, and they're just crammed in there, and they're like the. I've even gone in there and said to them, "Look, if you're because they normally have the Saturday staff in there watering the stuff and feeding the stuff, yeah." And I've said to them, "If you're finding this is a real nightmare for you, I said I don't mind coming in here and doing the rehouses." Because if you're not regularly doing the rehabs and stuff, and you need to move one into a bigger setup, if you're not that great or confident with it, I don't mind coming down with some stuff and just moving them for you. But they're like, oh, no. They never ever want to listen. It's just you can't. Yeah, you have to just give up in the end. And unfortunately, what ends up happening is you see the spiders pass away in their care, and they just rescuing them doesn't help because then they get their books.
Like I say, on the animal shop, also, sometimes with chain ones, sometimes it depends how independent they are as part of a chain.
Yep.
As well, because sometimes it comes from, further up kind of thing.
Yep. Yep.
I know years ago before I was employed as a zookeeper, I actually went to a recruitment day for a big chain pet store.
Yep.
When you'll guess who it is, it's the biggest one in the UK, so you can guess which it is. So there, pretty much every town has one.
Yep.
Sort of thing. And there's going to be a brand new one opening up with reptiles and inverts in it as well. And literally, part of me, because I just needed a job, so it's like, well, this at least is something to do with animals, and if they've got reptiles, here's my experience. And literally, at that day, they went, "Oh, we can tell you've got all the knowledge and stuff about these, about these animals, but you'll have to forget all that because you'll have to do what our office, at the top, they'll train you in what exactly to say, and it doesn't matter what you know."
Yep.
You can't advise.
I didn't click.
Oh my god!
I didn't click.
The difficult one when could have done reptile awareness evenings at a couple of their places, and the first time we sort of offered a reptile evening, being parents were like, well, we keep a lot of reptiles and a local sort of thing we could bring in and display. And some are like, oh, we'll need our reptile expert to check you out first. So that's fine, they can come along. And their reptile expert knew what a bearded dragon was and knew what a corn snake was, and that was it.
What?
Yeah, it's
So you could look at a bleaching skink and went, what the hell's that? And they're like, it's a bleaching skink. Sort of thing. And like you spend like hours. Like, I'm a parent, so I was working, so I couldn't be there. Just like fascinating. And, like, I've never seen any of these, and they're like, you're meant to be the reptile expert. Sort of thing. They haven't heard of any of these.
Surprise me.
Sort of thing. But again, it's because chain store. That that's obviously the biggest chain store in terms of pet store in the UK.
Was it like it before I came on? Because if it wasn't, I apologise.
Oh, it was quiet before you come on there.
So sorry to interrupt there, Phil, but no, Leah. Basically, what happens is you tend to grab all of us around our ankles and hold us like a bunch of balloons, and then dive into the abyss with us all. That tends to be what happens. So yeah, you're the opposite of up. Like you know, the little house and the balloons going into the sky. No, you just drag us into the depths of whatever depravity you can find. Yeah, Phil. I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Sorry,
the trouble is, Connor and me were trying to say to him, like, look, if you do this to the animal, do that. I can understand them not necessarily wanting to have like loads of like hides and like all the greenery to make the animal, so that when someone comes along and goes, oh, you get a family come. But my view of it is, I'm not being funny. I know they have to make money, but if someone who is coming in to look, for example, at a very secretive type of, I don't know, a leopard gecko, for example, yeah. If someone is serious about getting a leopard gecko, they know what sort of setup they want. They know what sort of setup they need. So you should expect that you don't want it just on a tiny little bit of sand with nothing else in the enclosure, just so you can see it when you walk in. Because if that was me, I would want it to be in the environment that it's going to thrive in, so I know it's not stressed when I buy it.
Don't know if you can see this, but this is a lid.
Lid of what?
An enclosure. This is the one that Callum gave me. I don't know if it is an early who's one of the shows that makes the enclosures?
Is that tarantula in that hole?
Yeah.
Well reminded, Steve. I need to look for vents.
That's what I was just looking for on Amazon. Just when I saw those. Good reminder, Steve.
Yeah, exactly, Strogs.
Closure. It's up in. I was like, where is it? Oh, I can just see its legs poking out.
You just sit there and look pretty, Leah. Don't talk again.
Okay. wait, what am I actually going to be doing? Because I can't do that either.
Oh, bless you. Look at you. You're all good. You're all good. I wouldn't expect people to be on it if it didn't get derailed at some point.
Yeah, those big pet store things. I've told the story before, I think, but yeah, when you go and look at the scorpion and buying it, and you get the Scorpio Marius sold to you as the Asian forest scorpion, yellow coliform. Yeah, it's a bit like, whoa.
I mean, literally back in the day, like many years ago, probably easily 20 years ago, if not more. The shop's still around, but it's always been a fairly terrible shop, not too far away from parents. And they had these Adaviv labelled up as fat tail geckos.
Similar to what?
Wow.
I was like, interesting, take a look at those. They were leopard geckos with the tails had been bitten off and regrown.
Oh.
Wow.
And they would then charge them more for.
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you,
that's not what they are.
I'll tell you, I'm still, every time I go in there, I'm still looking at the shield tails. Those shield tails are cool.
Reptile Hut.
Yeah.
It's only cool.
Really like them. I'll tell you, you're going back to what you were saying about your mum's birthday weekend. Like I've always had a soft spot. Every time I go into our local Swallows, I do have a look at the hedgehogs. They are cool. There's something super cool about them. But unfortunately, I think it's such a trend with people getting them because they see videos on TikTok where they're sitting on a little plastic sofa with a pair of sunglasses on or whatever. And it's like, oh my God, really?
Under the frogs.
We used to have an albino hedgehog.
All right, okay. Was that at your mum's or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got them from Donny Reptile Show.
All right.
Because the original Doncaster Reptile Show, they when it was back at the dome. So yeah, the original Doncaster Rock Show. They'd also have an exotic mammal show upstairs within the same show.
Wow. They are cool. I mean, I like them. If I had them, I wouldn't set them. I wouldn't be doing what I see some people do with all the things. But they're pretty tolerant animals if they do tolerate the amount of stuff you see some people doing their videos with them. They must be pretty calm as a species.
They can bite and they can hurt if they bite.
Yep.
But
so can Cresties apparently.
Yeah, as we saw earlier. And so, and they're very playful things. The one we had loved nothing more than empty, toilet roll tubes. Stick a toilet roll tube in there and stick his head in and go around for hours.
Oh wow!
Flinging it around.
Nice.
Like his favourite toy.
Would you have any thoughts on that, Phil? Strogs is asking.
I personally wouldn't keep them together.
No, I tell you,
I wouldn't keep Dark Frogs and Vampires. They would annoy each other. Although, you keep basically exactly the same as each other. Crabs who need slightly deeper water to molt in.
Would that be again one of those situations where, look, if you've got an environment that's the size of, I'm sorry to bring the name up, but Petco's paludarium size type setup, the Junglarium, if you had something that sort of size, would cohabitation be less of an issue because they'd find their own environments to sit in, or would you just not full stop?
I just wouldn't full stop.
I'm asking the question rather than because I don't have an opinion. It's more like just to raise the discussion. Don't think that I'm sort of advocating for that.
I can see the crab really annoying the Dark Frogs.
Yeah, they'd probably follow them around, wouldn't they?
Kind of thing.
Crabs seem to follow things around a lot.
My first thought on that, I'm no expert on it, but my first thought was like the crabs would be too small to eat the frog, but you might have a few toes missing here and there, and
it might nip your toe, possibly. Possibility. I think there'd be more. They would just, the crabs would annoy.
So just chase them around the enclosure or whatever.
Yeah, just being in the vicinity. I mean, they get very almost a similar size.
Right.
Together. In fact, I've actually got a tank of Osiris at work, and next to it is a tank of vampire crabs.
Right. Separately.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make another trip up.
The reason I wouldn't do is that they come from completely different continents as well. Another reason, but I just don't think it would work.
Nice, Dave.
Depending on the time when I go and get Connor next, depending on the time we're coming back, if we're coming back in the morning or whatever, we might because we come past your place, so we might pop in on that day, so like me and Connor can come and have another wander round.
Just let me know.
It'll be nice.
Leah,
it's been
what day of the week would that be?
Yeah. Oh, hello.
So this is Bob. He doesn't want to be held.
Do you know the Tegu's heads? That bit just behind their head. It amazes me how wide they get. Like, don't they?
Yeah, it's only the males as well. The females are a lot more narrow.
With the jowls, everyone's getting big jowls as well.
Like a ball.
Yeah. This one did.
Like the beardies have jowls as well, don't they? But they don't get anywhere. No, they look.
Yeah.
They're huge, aren't they? They're cool.
Look at his little face.
Look
at his face.
He's a good boy.
They don't necessarily take a lot of room, Rebecca. As long as you've got a good sex ratio.
Phil, would you say that Reptizoo setup that they had at your show would be a good starter setup for those?
Reptizoo set up.
Was it Reptizoo? The one you own, the enclosures that they had at your show that they were selling a really, really cheap price of that.
Zoomed.
That is the Zoomed one. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Zoomed, not Reptizoo.
No, they're how big are they? They're like, are they 60 by 30 or something? Are they?
No.
Maybe no.
Slightly smaller than that. But
they're smaller than that. I mean, I'm going to be setting up one for vampire crabs.
In that, yeah.
That will be a video.
They're a good enclosure.
Well, they don't even need to be that big. Really don't think there was a deal of a price. That's why he sold out. Well, he sold a lot of them. Then when we went to the shop the next day, he was like, I think so. I remember who asked, possibly Jeremy asked about others. He's like, oh yeah, but I'm in the back room. It's very pricey.
Well,
so we ended up going from it as well. It was like, at that sort of price, you couldn't say no.
I have nothing to put in them, but if they have them at your show again, I am buying a couple because they were ridiculously good price.
I think he'll take those again because that was his first ever show he'd done, selling wise.
Yeah.
So he was like, I don't know what he said he didn't know what to bring, so he just brought everything. Have
you put up your show as a event on Facebook at the moment? Is it already up there, ready to go?
Should be. I'm going to start sharing all the videos from last year and stuff to start getting people interested. We're nearly sold out of tables.
Right, let's have a look. Let me try and find. You've shared it on your Facebook page, haven't you? Keep talking amongst yourselves. I'm going to find where this is on Phil's timeline and put the link up for the
show. So yeah, he just brought everything. He's going to be at the Peterborough show. He's booked up to go there.
Where on earth is it?
So the more you have, the more you're going to see them. They are nocturnal. So yeah, you might not necessarily, but if you have a few, then you do see the odd one out during the day. It's just a case of a lot of the time they're very male heavy, and if you have a lot of males, then just have only males and have a nice big space for a whole big bunch of males. And don't have any females in there with them because otherwise they start attacking each other. Or have a pair or sort of equal numbers or more females to males if you can. Another thing if you want to breed.
For those people that don't know, the show that's going to be on in November is this one.
I think it's logged out.
No, he's changing.
So this is
Milton Hall.
Yeah, this is the show. Awesome show last year. It had a very lovely feel to it, very much like old school, like village fair, like type vibe to it. Like really friendly, really good few stalls. Busy for the size of the show, obviously, and it was just a really good way to catch up with people. So if you're in that area, take a screenshot if you can read all that. It is basically Milton Hall on the 2nd of the 11th. Let's just bring up a bit bigger and I'll slide it up and down. So, hashtag, I didn't realise you put hashtag Philfest on there.
That's not on the official one. I've done that just to annoy my mum.
Oh, brilliant. That's awesome. But yes, at the Jubilee Centre, there's the postcode in the middle, guys, for people who need that. I would definitely recommend if you can go in. It was an awesome show last year. And obviously you'll be supporting Phil and Phil's family. So it's really good. I must say, they did their first show last year. They did absolutely amazing. The show last year, they knocked it out of the park, really, with regards to the way the show ran and all that. And there was an awful lot of stress beforehand for them guys. But I was glad to be part of that and glad to be there for the show because they definitely did themselves proud. That's for sure.
It was.
It's going to be a little bit bigger this year because there's more tables than last year.
Nice. Oh, who's just left?
Leah.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't like the show, does she? Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, Philfest 2.0.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've added. Yeah, my mum's added. Because last year there should have been more there anyway, but free traders unfortunately let us down. Who aren't coming back. So that should have been another maybe 5 tables than what was there. Possibly 5 or 6 tables. But even with those being added, I think my mum's added another 6 tables on top of that.
Oh, wow.
What I think's awesome about it as well is the fact that obviously Luke and his dad had such a good day there last time, and they saw its potential and stuff that they're sponsoring this one as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and that was Mark's idea. That was Daddy Spar's idea.
No, that's cool. Yeah,
He wanted to do that was Mark that wanted to do that, and then Luke approached us. Well, he messaged me about it. I spoke to the parents, and also I will say as well, they're sponsors, they're sponsors, but they also insisted on paying for their tables on top.
Hey, Caitlin.
Really?
wow.
Yeah.
Aw.
They insisted. They were like, they gave my mum a lump sum as show sponsorship.
Wow.
And so they're like, but we're still paying for our tables. We're not
So
having.
They're really
our
good
tables.
out, aren't they?
Without sort of going into prying into all the details and stuff like that too much, but
Hey, Caitlin.
I take it the fact that because they have sponsored the event and obviously put some funding towards and things like that, has that alleviated a lot of the stress that your mum and dad had last year to start up with? Do you think that's sort of helped them sort of relax a little bit more about it?
I don't know if it's helped. It's helped in terms of campaign towards like better leaflets and stuff. So actually properly printed ones. Whereas last year, like the flyers were very much just printed at home, sort of thing, not professional. So it's paid for that. It's paid for another banner.
Nice
stuff. And we'll go towards some better advertising. Near the time, perhaps paying for sort of more online advertising kind of thing.
Nice
And stuff. So
good evening, Caitlin.
So it helps towards that certainly to make it big, and then obviously with the more professional flyers. I know Luke's. He had a big bunch in January, and he's been sending him out in every box he's sent out.
Yeah.
Aw.
They're a good family, aren't they? They are a good family of good people.
And what's nice is others have as well. So they've been sending him out.
I have.
Insect Farm, they've been sending him out. Leah's been sending him out. Ants HQ have been sending him out as well.
I know one of the traders that was there last year, which was it the people up on the top floor with where Kelly was. They've actually stopped trading now, haven't they? Yeah, they've sold all their stock off and everything, haven't they?
Yeah, he's completely ceased trading, which is a shame.
Yeah, he had some good stuff there last year. He did. This is quite cool, though. Steve is planning on doing 3D mystery boxes.
Oh, well, might be one of those.
Yeah,
that sounds like a plan.
Oh, look, it's a Groot.
Yeah, this is one of Steve's, and it's actually got wood fibre, I think, in with the plastic. So it's very light.
Is it actually officially called a little tree boy?
Yeah, tree boy.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, Danielle was very careful with that with her ones, wasn't she? It's like, there's just a tree boy figure. It's nothing to do with that. Sorry, that the streaming service that cannot be named.
Or anything else.
Exactly. Yeah. Please avoid all copyright at all risk. Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Wood filament.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
Steve, how's the life size print you're doing at the moment coming on? Steve's doing a life size print at the moment. It was something like he said it was hundreds of hours worth of print time. Gollum,
Yeah.
a life-size
It
Gollum.
sounds it sounds worth seeing at the show to see all the different decor bits.
Nice.
So
honestly, mate, it had such a. I know it's a family show and it's a family-run show, but it had that proper family vibe the whole day, which was brilliant. You know, like the show, the Capital show was good. I loved Capital show because the car parking was brilliant. The fact that there was no struggling for car parking, you know, it was almost like the anti-Brighton of car parking. It was amazing. But the trouble is, it's brilliant because it's so busy for everybody. I know some traders didn't do as well because of the fact it's a long, thin venue, and maybe they didn't get as far down and they'd spent all their money or whatever. But the fact that your show is like it's something completely different. It's just and it will grow.
And that's what
will grow.
And that's what we want. We don't want it to, my parents don't want it to be as big as Invert Shows UK as their shows because they would lose the feel.
Yeah,
and they would lose their marbles organising it.
That's it, But we're not, and that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be, it's a smaller show. That's that. Kind of
like an old school show, like they used to be.
Yeah, the old school sort of shows where it's a bit more relaxed vibe and stuff,
and a proper hobby as well, rather than a
show for the hobbyists by the like by hobbyists for the hobbyists kind of thing, and stuff. And looking at taking inspiration, but from those those shows and stuff, and take bits that we like from it and stuff.
Yeah.
So like this year. We're thinking of perhaps putting on a few little talks through the day and see how that goes.
That'd be good
because we've got that little bar area that everyone would walk through to get because everyone that came in went onto the stage bit first, and then they walked through that bar bit to then get down into the sort of the main part, if you like.
Yeah.
So with that little bit was sort of unused, but we could put on perhaps a few little talks there. So like there's doing a little bit on tree spiders.
Yeah,
put Terry on there and tickle him and get him to do a rant about Suffolk.
That won't take a lot.
We could do a Q&A with Terry and just ask him some very pertinent questions and see if his responses are safe for public consumption.
Of course they won't be, as Terry.
We're keeping the reptile display.
Oh, good.
Because some people were like, you could put more traders in a room. And we all three of us were very much against putting any traders in that room.
Yeah, I think that was nice because it gave people that, the Invert Shows UK and BTS, they have those areas where people can go and just relax. If they find it too much, they don't have to be around all the stalls and they can just, that room, even though it had a lot of people in there and a lot of animals in there, it was almost like that place where you could go and just wander and feel a little bit more relaxed in that room. It was nice. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And also, like, we don't want traders, because yes, we can put a few more tables in there and sell a few more tables for it, but we can't. Me and Mum have done plenty of shows where we've been in a sort of secondary room and you feel like an afterthought.
Yeah,
you're not really part of the show, kind of thing. And we don't want people, feeling like that. The stage, because we weren't sure with the stage at first, but it was actually with it opened up. At least they're still part of the, it's all one big room, and you can see, and it worked enough that Kelly just tarantulas, they want to stay at that position, sort of thing. They were like,
she did well up there, didn't she?
Yeah, they said they done a lot better than they thought they would do, and they're like, I don't know, we don't want to be moved, sort of thing.
I think another really good thing about the show, the way that it is, and it's still smaller and you don't have too many traders, is that it gives everybody who is trading a chance to like sell some stuff.
Yeah, every trader did well,
many
didn't they?
traders, it's oversaturated with the same thing.
Yeah,
but that's why, like, the only tarantula seller, or the only people that their main thing is tarantulas, this year will be spar spiders and just tarantulas, and that's it. anyone else in the trans, they'll perhaps just have a few, but that won't be their main thing.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, like Jose's going there will have, his trues and his ice pods and stuff. I'll have, all the bits that I do. He'll have all the bits that she does. Steve will have all the 3D printing stuff. Matthew with all his glass tanks.
He did well there, didn't he? He did pretty well.
Whatever no one else is bringing, sort of thing. Edie will bring that.
Yeah.
And stuff. We got. We can't release a full trailer list yet, but I can say that we've got Rick's Bug Room coming. He's coming this year.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
So he'll have obviously all the Mantis and all the other stuff that he does.
I do think one of the good things is the fact that because it's now had its first show last year, and because you, your mum, and your dad are all part of the invert shows and obviously part of the hobby, and everyone knows who you guys are and this and the other, because they now know what it was last year, people will want to get involved more.
That's it.
I do think that, and the fact that like people are talking about it all the time, like a lot of the hobbyists, it's not just us lot, it's not just your like good friends. A lot of people talk about that show and say, "Oh, if I'm going to do shows this year," like for me, I did the Seas show, start of the year, first show of the year. I'm not going to miss that. Capital show, BTS, and the next show I probably attend will be Mildenhall, and then maybe Brighton. It's like that's it. It's that's the one on the calendar, It's and I think a lot of people sort of like that, like the diversity of it. Oh, that's nice, Steve. You did well that day, mate. No, looking forward to it though, Phil. Looking forward to it, mate. I know that I think Rebecca said it's about 4-hour drive for her, but it's her birthday weekend as well.
Welcome for your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Come for your birthday. It is definitely a show worth trip. And also, one thing that Phil hasn't mentioned and no one else has either is the fact that there is a hotel very close to the venue, which is very reasonably priced because it is, I think it's either Premier Inn or Travelodge, isn't it? It's one of the two.
Travelodge is the closest.
Yeah.
For reasonably priced.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it is. There's another hotel there's a hotel actually within Mildenhall, but that one's probably, I don't know how much that one is, but it's probably a lot more expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's nice but decent sized car park as well. That was the other good thing because of the amount of traders that were there versus the amount of people that were there. You could get parking during the day because it's a big car park there, isn't it?
Yeah. For the size of the venue, it's there's plenty of parking with it. Yeah, within Mildenhall. You have to be careful that you don't park up in the Sainsbury's car park, or if you do, they need to be mindful that that's 2 hours only. Whereas outside the Sainsbury's car park in the Jubilee Centre car park, it's then free all day.
Yeah, just be careful with that. Yeah, definitely.
But there's plenty of spaces there for it.
Yeah. I remember turning up last year, and unfortunately, when people were arriving, it was torrential rain, wasn't it? So everyone was trying to park right by the door because they didn't want to get out of cars because it was really bad rain. And then it eased off during the day, and it was overall a good day. I think it affected the number of people coming through the door to start with because there was rain, wasn't there? It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully the rain. It doesn't rain this year, but it's November, so you can't really guarantee that. Oh,
and the other thing that hasn't been mentioned is also for those people who are going. I know I didn't last year, but I look, I'm fancy dressed enough as I am. So, but it is a fancy dress show. So if you go for fancy dress, everyone there was pretty much dressed up in fancy dress. Jeremy was dressed up as the Grinch. He had a Grinch suit on, and Jeremy was sweating.
No, he was dressed as the Grinch for 2 minutes, and then he was a bottom half Grinch for the rest of the day.
He did not anticipate how he was. I know that Steve was dressed up as a medicine doctor or whatever. It was cool.
Witch doctor.
Witch doctor, yeah, all right. But he was, yeah.
Got to get it right, man.
It was, but yeah, we had a few people, and I know Caitlin sort of dressed up, and she loved it, and yeah, it was good views.
And hopefully we'll have this year's calendar out as well.
Chris, this one is Mildenhall in Suffolk, mate. I'll put it up again.
Leah, when are we doing this?
I'm going to start organising it. Probably start discussing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
We still do.
Yeah, Rick
Have the camera
planning
on.
stuff.
The calendar. Yeah.
But-
What you planning, Phil?
No, Rick's planning stuff. Rick's buffering.
Oh,
Well, he sort of asked our permission at Capital. But it's all
Are you in?
because it's Halloween, are we allowed to dress up? I was like, please do. He was like, can we decorate the tables? Please do.
Why
He's like,
not
I'll go along.
Victoria?
Sort of thing.
Yeah, let me just share the screen
Hey,
again.
Mark
and
and
I'll put it up
Victoria.
for people to see.
Hailing.
Hey, Ling.
Hey,
Hi, Mark. Hi, Victoria.
Hello, Mark.
so,
Hello, Victoria.
so hopefully, that'll, we dress up. I think Luke said
Hey,
he's
Mark,
going to this
Victoria.
year because he felt place last year not dressed up, and as he's showing
Morning.
sponsor.
Nice.
Oh.
Cookie.
Yeah.
I told Luke he has to dress up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not dressing up." I was like, "Yeah, you have to."
This is the top half of the flyer for the show. So if anyone wants to take a screenshot of it, it's Milden Hall, Suffolk. Postcode's on there. Well worth it if you're in that area. Honestly, it'll be the second show, and I know that Phil and his family would love you forever if you support the show, because it's a good one for the community, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Apologise.
I've got
I'm in a bit of a bad mood.
some ideas, some very secret ideas that no one knows about for the show as well.
Secrets are not allowed.
You've got a lot of secrets tonight, Phil, haven't you?
Oh yeah, full of secrets at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So I've just had a WhatsApp message that has completely thrown me off. It was brilliant. I can't repeat it, but it was brilliant.
I'd rephrase them.
There we go. So Mark and Victoria came along last year, and it was awesome. In fact, it was Mark that gifted me the spider we were talking about earlier, which was the polka peas. Gifted it to me for a giveaway, and I've had to go and buy myself one for another giveaway because that one's going nowhere. Because after what I went through with it, I cannot let that go to anybody.
No.
In fact, the only person I would let it go back to is Mark, I think, because it's been on a bit of an adventure. Yeah, Chris, honestly, mate, you love it. Let's do another plug of some of the channels, like we were saying.
Has anybody else's messenger gone down? Like you can't message anybody. Like you can't open messages.
There is a thing on there where if you search Messenger and search for a name, and then try and have a conversation with them, it will come up basically with an error saying that they're not accepting encrypted messages and this and never not eligible for Messenger. But when you actually go into Facebook, go to their Facebook profile and message them from there, and it opens Messenger. It's all okay.
Oh no! I just tried to open a message and it just kept going load. Like I wanted to do anything.
No, they do have downtime sometimes. It's a pain when they've got that. Anyone who hasn't seen this link before, honestly, go and give Chris some love. The guy deserves some more subscribers. His artwork is awesome. And anyone into the planetary aerosol type art and stuff like that, his stuff's really good. In fact, I need to talk to you, Chris, because I do want to buy something. I've sat there, found myself mesmerized by some of the stuff. Really cool process to watch it come into life. And then he did a cityscape one with the planets behind. Oh my God, it's talent. Honestly, it seriously is. It's so cool. Obviously, I like it because I do the miniature painting for Warhammer and stuff. So I've got like that little tiny bit of art that I like watching. But this channel's awesome. So really cool. And another one to plug again. The other one we'll plug in tonight. Anyone who hasn't gone and subscribed to Phoebes, go and show her some love. She has almost hit her 100 subscribers, and she deserves more. She's got a good channel. So go give her up. You're more than welcome, Chris. Yeah.
Cats have just smashed on my plates.
You what?
Did you just hear that? Yeah. Hold on, the cat has just smashed all the plates.
Oh dear. No. So there's a GoFundMe out there now for Leah and Terry to have their crockery replaced. But yeah, we're all about sort of getting the community up on their subs. So if anyone can go and give some people some subscriptions, that would be absolutely awesome, and I'd really appreciate it.
have it on now?
And both. I'm gonna,
Thebes is only 7 away from 100 now as well. So
So I'll get her the rest of the week. Give me 2 secs.
just remember, if you are subbing to anybody, make sure you go and watch at least 20 or 30 seconds of at least one of their videos. If you're watching Chris's channel, you end up finding that you spend a whole morning watching all of them because they're really cool. I'm not just saying that. The when you see the way these planets like they go from just being bored with a bit of aerosol on, and all of a sudden these colours, and then it looks amazingly like the planets look so good. The vibrance of them and stuff is awesome. So you have to make sure that you watch some of the stuff because otherwise YouTube thinks you're a bot and unsubscribes you.
yeah. I'm gonna jump off now.
No, you're not allowed.
No worries, dude. Steve, I'll send you a message. I'll send you a message in a minute. I'll show you what I've got.
Nice, Steve.
Awesome.
Night, Steve.
Thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate it, man.
Bye.
That's
His
it.
little hand.
His little hand.
I know where he's going then.
Bit of a giveaway when the little hands come out.
Oh, I'll put a message in, but it's a different.
So I'll get these in, yeah?
Yeah, I found out when I subbed to Chris now.
Yep.
I've seen a few of his videos already.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
£22, but I'm not getting this.
That's cool. Yeah, that's right. Mate, I think that I can believe because they are quite relaxing, the music and all this and the other. And watching the process of the art actually forming in front of you, it is quite therapeutic. I can understand that. Obviously, it's not what you want because you want people to watch the videos, but at least you got 2 lots of viewing hours for it, I suppose. Oh, Rebecca, honestly, let's get your channel up as well, Rebecca.
Did I don't know if I've done Rebecca's on all the channels.
You'd be in a duck for your Pringles.
Look, honestly, right, so on here, if anyone has people that want to put their links in, then, you know, obviously feel free because only obviously moderators can spam their stuff in, but I've got no problem. I've got no problem people plugging their channels or other people's channels. Just if you're a moderator or above, just put the channels in there. You don't have to ask. But this is Rebecca's one as well. Silver Webbers. Go and give Rebecca a sub if you're not sub to Rebecca.
I'll sub on my other YouTube account.
Oh, that'd be cool, Strogs. That'd be cool.
She's only got 5 left now.
Cool. I'm going to give it to past today, and then I'm going to call it a day. I've got a bit of a stomach ache, and I've been out and about all day, and I haven't had a chance to do anything yet. So I've got loads of stuff to do before I go to bed.
Ron, why would anybody want to subscribe to that person?
There's some good videos.
They're terrible.
A few of them are quite all right.
I'm only kidding. They got really cute frogs. Everybody needs to go look at the frogs.
More frogs.
I've actually.
Hello, Terry.
Hello, Mark.
Hey, Terry.
I'm going to come and live with you, Mark.
Okay.
All right.
You agreed to that way too quick.
Hey, Terry.
Is
Hey,
Terry
Charlie,
not-
I'm not coming to live with you. It's too far.
Hey, Terry.
I'm not
I'm
going to live with you.
actually
They make me chilly.
26 subs away from myself from 1,400 now, so
Oh, well done, Matt.
Does
yeah.
anyone want 7 cats? They can have them.
No. No.
They can have them. They can have them all.
No, only 5.
Well, they can have them all. And 2 dogs. They can have them all. All the animals. They can all pick and go. Every
Terry having a clear out.
Nice, Strong.
Like a
Nice
beard.
one.
Cats are full. All of
Currently,
that, mate.
2,140.
That's good.
Don't rub it
going,
in,
dude.
Phil.
Honestly, it's awesome. Your channel seems to have because when it got to the 1,000, and then all of a sudden it has definitely started to grow more. You will hit some big numbers, dude. You will.
Look at that eventually.
Yeah.
I've just got to 2,766.
Nice.
We're on
That's good.
116.
The thing is, if your channel grows too quick, it can be a case of I think you can end up feeling far too much of the pressure too quickly. If it has organic growth and just grows at a steady pace, you grow into the larger numbers and the larger requirements with those larger numbers. I think it's a nice way of doing it. And plus, if you're doing it for the right reason, you're doing it for yourself anyway.
If I ever get to
Right,
the
Steve's Tarantulas only got 3 left now, Matt.
Nice. Yeah, she's gone to bed, I think, but I'm sure she'll appreciate it when she wakes up tomorrow. I think as far as the channels go,
Thank
I
you,
think
Rebecca.
everybody who does it for themselves and they don't worry about the numbers too much, you end up getting the numbers, and everyone just comes along for the journey because they know you're just doing it for yourself. You know,
it's the best way, because otherwise you just stress yourself over stuff and that is not worth stressing over.
You've been through that a little bit in the past, haven't you, Phil?
I've done it. You know, I mean, like, I got and stuff, and maybe I should try this to do that, and then go. Actually, why? You know, it doesn't matter.
The only thing that I'm trying to do is get to my 4,000 watch hours. I don't really not really worried about more subscribers.
How close are you now to that, Leah?
Still 500 off. Literally, I get up to 500 and then it goes back down like 10 or whatever, and then I just keep.
Have you got an all-channel playlist like I told Jeremy to create?
Yeah, it's called Petathon.
Well, that's what you should be plugging, and not just your channel. You should plug. Plug the link in now of just the Petathon link for the playlist, and ask people if they mind just putting it on in the background.
You have to give me a second because I need to get back out of Phoebe's channel because I've just given her like. Does it seriously need for any of that?
That's Terry she's talking to. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's one reason I don't make shorts anymore, because shorts just don't work on my channel.
So my video was supposed to come out today, but because of everything going on at home here, I just decided I'll put a post up. I'll do the video. I was going to do it tomorrow, but I thought then I'm pressured to do the filming and stuff. I know what I want to do, but so I'm just going to leave it and do the video over the weekend, just to take the pressure off. You know, I feel bad. And the only reason I feel bad is because when you've got people who are members on the channel, obviously there's an investment from those guys, and I know they're doing it just because they want to support. But you do end up having that extra bit of pressure from that. You feel that you're more committed to it and having to do stuff for those people.
Pressure that you put on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the pressure they're putting on; it's self-inflicted pressure.
It's always self-inflicted pressure, and that's the thing. That sometimes what I have to realise is that actually, this is self-inflicted, and people that.
That is a mess of a link.
We don't got angry because we didn't release a video for during 1 week, but then not the people able to join you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I look at it nowadays. Because at the moment I'm not entirely sure what video I'm going to do for next week. I've got nothing planned.
Was you there when I was talking the other day, Phil, and about saying, like, in a lot of the beardy groups, every time I talk to people in the beardy groups, we're talking about feeders, and I talk about the doobias, and they're like, "How do you get your doobies to breed? I'm really struggling." So I'm just going to do a doobia clean them up and set up.
Just clean it out and
yeah.
I think so. A video like that will probably do really well.
It probably will, because it's going to go on to the bearded groups and stuff like that, and I think people over there will enjoy it. So it's like, what? Not signing up.
Because I've got stuff planned, but I need to get the stuff in to be able to do sort of thing when it comes to certain setups and stuff and certain things. So for like certain build videos.
For those people struggling with Leah's super long link, that's the same playlist there. There you go, Leah. That's a shortened version of your link for you. What are you doing?
Nothing.
There you go. That's
me.
That's Leah's playlist.
Hi. Oh God, don't look at me. I look like
That's
terrible
fucking
today.
Um,
That would have been dragged through her head backwards.
Phil.
It's orange.
He
Looks
put
like
his
What did you
finger
do
over
to
the
me?
camera.
yeah, it looks
Is
No,
it
like
gone now, Phil?
It's not my finger.
It's very nice. Oh, okay. It's not your fit. Oh, jeez. I don't want to know.
What's my thumb?
I was chatting to
It's
someone
winter
today,
now.
and we were talking about education and stuff, and I did have a random thought, and I thought I'd ask: if you were studying a procrastination degree, right? Would the procrastination degree, yeah, would it take you forever to finish it? But would that mean you qualified, or would you have to actually get to the end before you got the certificate to say you?
What crap is Matt smoking?
Honestly, it's done my brain in trying to work out.
But the thing is, though, would the idea of the degree is the idea to be good at procrastinating or not, or just to understand procrastination?
Well, if you want to be a good procrastinator, but you want to take yourself to the highest level of procrastination,
Oh,
it's like would the fact that you never finish it mean you're the best? But then you wouldn't get the qualification. So it's like that's a mad loop to be involved in, isn't it?
Maybe it's a good job there's no such degree.
This is a little insight into what my brain sort of thinks about while I'm talking to people doing various math stuff. It was like, yeah. Sheldon Cooper. Yeah, it's funny you should say that because my niece, who I help out, she refers to herself as young Sheldon. But yes, there you go.
I love Sheldon. That's brilliant.
She calls herself young Sheldon all the time, right? She's a special individual, and she has a unique way of thinking about things. But then she has like major laptop issues. So I do turn around to her and sort of say that at least he wouldn't.
When this whole time I've been giving her the option.
Phil, we can hear you.
I will deal with any issues from there on out. She's no longer responsible when it's not in her hands anymore. You know.
I muted him, so I don't know if we're supposed to be listening to that. I have no idea what's going on.
I think that probably was meant to be muted.
Who you got? Yeah.
Oh. Any plans for the rest of the week for anyone? I know it's midweek already, but what are people up to this weekend? Because we haven't got a show or anything.
This weekend, because I have weekend now, unfortunately. So my weekend will be packing, unpacking, and some more packing.
Do you know what? Every trip I've ever been on, my packing has happened about 30 seconds before I was due to leave the house.
Well, I'm planning a bit ahead this time. Because I'm usually the same. It's like the day I'm leaving, it's just, okay, I need this, this, and this. Poop, close, go. But I'm planning a bit ahead. So, yeah. I have some stuff I need to remember to bring for different people. And this time, because I don't want to risk anything, and I've ordered way too many scorpions and stuff from people around.
Wow.
I found a styrofoam box that fits my suitcase. So I'll bring that just to make a stable temperature and a bit safer environment for them.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely.
So,
Rebecca, what slings did you rescue tonight? Let me know. Chris, what festivals do you go to, dude? Do you go to Bloodstock? Are you a fellow Bloodstock goer? Because if you're a fellow Bloodstock goer, you'll have to come and say hello to me and Phil this year if you're going.
Yeah, should be good as well. Should be good.
Yeah.
So.
we've got Caitlin. I don't know if Caitlin's still in chat, but obviously Caitlin's got a ticket. Connor's come in. I'm going to be there. Obviously Phil's going to be there, and then we've got Custom Aquaria Matthews there. And James.
And James will be there.
And I'll tell you what, it was actually brilliant with Matthew last year because it's like you really got to be able to talk to him because he's so busy at shows. It was just nice to be able to sit with the man while he's sitting still for a couple of hours at a day.
Yeah, just in there and just chat about something random.
Yeah, can't wait. Oh, OBT Borneo. Wow, so
yeah, it's always good just to chat. Don't worry, actually, I need that the link or the model model number of that trolley that you got because I need a different trolley this year.
I'll send you the link, mate. I'll send you the link. I'll send you. I
know you
think
said
I
it wasn't
already. I think I sent it to you ages ago, but I'll send it to you again.
If you did, I lost the link.
That trolley is.
I know you said it wasn't cheap. Right. It was like very expensive, but it looked like it had a much better handle than my one, which doesn't rip your fingers apart.
Yep.
And it looked bigger as well. That might actually fit all my stuff in.
The thing with my one, that handle was pretty good, and the wheels were well chunky, weren't they? I know that could be bad if it was really bad weather, but it didn't feel heavy to push or pull around either. So hopefully it will survive this year. If it survives this year, then I'll definitely recommend it to people. What do you get?
I mean, my one has survived actually a number of years. Like,
yeah, it is a little bit smaller, your one, isn't it?
It's smaller, yeah. My one's smaller. Your one looked a bit bigger, sort of thing, which when you sort of which my tent's a bit smaller than your tent. But
yeah. Oh well, we've got that big tent. The big tent we're bringing again this year because we've got obviously Caitlin in the car with me and Connor. So we've got to try and fit me, Connor, and Caitlin and all the stuff we had last year in a different car now. And obviously we've got Caitlin's stuff. And being a girl, probably need to put a roof rack trailer and have a convoy following us with all her bags. God knows what.
I mean, there was one year when I had to take a giant bloody unicorn with me.
Yeah. Wow. So, Rebecca got an OBT, Borneo Bat, Cancracken, Indian Violet Earth Tiger, P. Reduncus, very nice, Sasmai, and N. carapoensis, brilliant species. Honestly, if I get a sack from mine, everyone's going to have an N. carapoensis.
He does bloodstock, but he does posh kit camping.
I know, I was getting to that comment. He's like, there's a posh kit camping. Yeah.
He's in Serpent's Lair.
It's all good. Oh, it'd be good. No, honestly.
I'm presuming Serpent's Lair, if you're saying posh kit, I'm presuming it means Serpent's Lair.
We weren't posh kit, but we weren't in the masses. We were in the relatively calm campsite last year. It was
we were in Ironwood, weren't we?
Yeah, it was a good field to be in. It was pretty decent location. We didn't.
The first year when we was in Valhalla. We was in Valhalla last year.
Right.
It was the year before them. It was the year before you came that we done Ironwood. It was Valhalla last year. Valhalla's good.
It was a big site as well, that bit, and it was quite nice because when we came in there, we were quite by the entrance and all this and the other. It wasn't too bad if you had to go back to the car and things like that.
The first year I was in Valhalla, and then after that first year, then spent a few years in Midgard, which was great fun.
Nice.
The only reason we've stopped doing videos mainly because James just doesn't like Midgard,
right?
Because he says he struggles to sleep, whereas I sleep anywhere.
Well, yeah, I have been known to sleep standing up, so
yeah, it's the same here. One year we done Jotunheim, but that was 21 when they done the extra day, and Matthew was like, "Nah, people aren't going to turn up early on the extra day. Let's get there later." And then when we turned up, there was hardly anywhere to find a campsite. So we ended up in Jotunheim, like miles away. Kind of felt miles away. It was the furthest away from the arena I've been. It was like almost back at the car park.
Once you go VIP, there's no going back. I do imagine the showers are a very strong draw for those things. To be fair.
yeah. Then we got in Ironwood. Ironwood was quite good, and then Valhalla last year. Well, yeah, Valhalla was good.
We
Right.
who was if you had to pick one band from last year's lineup that you like, if you only one band, and it's going to make it quite difficult, who would you say?
Oh fuck!
All right, I'll be nice to you. One band from the Sophie stage, and then one band from Dio.
Even that's difficult.
It's an easier option, though, isn't it?
It's easier, but it's still difficult to choose. Like, you know.
Would you? I'll tell you what. For me, I think on the main stage, I think Meshuggah were, for me, just because of where we were stood, and the fact I'd been looking forward to seeing them so much that for me was the one. And I think on the Sophie stage, it's either going to be Stengar or Skinned.
Skin was really good. Skin was good. It looks like Chris knows someone in Violent Incident. We know someone in Violent Incident as well.
Oh my god!
So do we know the same person?
Yeah, I wonder.
Is it Danny by any chance? Do you know Danny? Because we know Danny.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't put it past Chris to know Danny, to be honest with you, because he just looks the sort of person who would know Danny. That's hilarious.
Because I know Danny.
If it's not Danny, Chris, Danny basically has a company called Keeper Cards for Tarantulas.
I know he's a drummer.
Okay. Yeah, Danny owns Keeper Cards and does all the stuff to do with Tarantula t-shirts and things like that. He's a cool guy.
Which box?
That's hilarious, though, isn't it? What a small world we live in.
Yeah, you really go and see them because Danny. Although we wouldn't recognise Danny within the band.
No, they were funny.
Will be because at Tarantula things, Danny looks very different.
And the mystery guitarist as well. Oh, right, okay. I love the fact they keep it all quiet. I'll tell you what. Did you?
I think I bumped into the mystery guitarist, but I was drunk. He was drunk. Danny was very heavily drunk on other things. It was in Valhalla where I was stumbling towards the toilets, and then all of a Danny burst out of his head and just go. So,
there's a couple of things.
Our guitarist, but you're not allowed to know. But, okay.
For this year, there's a couple of random things, right? So you've got Meshuggah are playing at some place in Bristol, aren't they? On a Friday.
Our Tangent.
Yes. So they're playing this year at that on a Friday. I'm finishing work on a Friday morning at 8 o'clock, and I'm still toying with the idea of going over there for the day. But Korn are doing a gig like literally a couple of days before Bloodstock, and then they are driving straight past the location of Bloodstock. They have to drive straight past to go up to another thing they're doing a few days later up sort of Scotland way. It's like, just stop. I would love that. Would be awesome if they made an appearance there, even if it was just to be in attendance. You know, that'd be cool. Yeah, it's I don't know. And then there's another band. I can't think who it was that are playing very, very close around the same sort of date, and I was quite surprised they weren't there. But I'm not sure. Did you actually watch the footage of Eloy playing the gig, the Slipknot gig that I sent the link to? How good was that? Do you not think that on the small stages they have so much more energy?
Oh hell yeah!
They are. They look amazing on that stage.
That gig looked insane. It looked so good.
Oh right, yes, I think they are. Yeah, they look good.
So,
yeah, Gunnersbury Park. Yeah, 11th.
And that was like a super cheap gig as well, wasn't it? That they done. It was like something like $9 a ticket or something.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Corey looked super energized, and he looked like he was enjoying himself again. Even though you can't see through the mask, he looked happy because the way he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was bouncing
going
and
back
jumping
to what
around.
they were and stuff, and what it was, and strip it back to.
I do think
raw energy.
You don't know what was going on in the band, but you know, as far as the fact that changing drummers over and things like this, I do think that Eloy's probably given them a massive boost in like energy levels. He's a young guy. Jay was awesome, but you know, Eloy's got that, like, he's super energetic dude, isn't he?
So well, like
I just
he was like the top guy at the moment.
I just hope it doesn't affect the Sepultura tour in when we're going. I hope it doesn't affect the level of energy in the band when we go and see them. I don't think it will.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. You know, they've got a good drummer with them.
Yep. Yeah, drummer musical chairs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit. Good stuff. You know, it was also very obvious that Eli was being employed by Slipknot. I think most of us kind of.
How many of the bands have original lineups? Well, there's a few that have original lineups, but the trouble is, it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, I'm not that bothered. Like Sepultura, but I don't think it matters really. I think if you like the music,
and especially when like most of the lineup's been that for over 20 years.
Yeah,
it's been, you know, been Derek and Andreas and stuff. So it's, you know, yeah, the drummers have changed a little bit every now and then, but that's been, you know.
Currently, who is your one? If you could only pick one band to go and see from the current lineup that's out there right now for this year's Bloodstock, who would it be?
Oh, let me have a look at the lineup. to remind myself who's actually going.
Apparently, Green Lung are good live. Carcass are there, aren't they? Whitechapel.
Yeah, Whitechapel will be good. Yeah, Carcass will be good. Carcass is always good.
Speaking of original lineups, I'm pretty sure Carcass is pretty much the original lineup, and they've been going for centuries.
Yeah.
My
Dairside. Dairside hardly ever play in the UK, so you're going to see Dairside.
Yeah, definitely go and see them. That's Connor's one band that he wants to go and see. He is absolutely beside himself to go and see them. For me, and I know I've said this before, but it's Silosis. Just because the energy they have and all that, and the fact they play in standard tuning and sound heavier than most of the bands who play in any drop tuning. The other band that I really want to see live, even though musically I don't listen to them at all, but live apparently they're supposed to be amazing, and that is The Architect. So Architects, the singer invariably ends up in the middle of the mosh pits on a lot of their gigs, still with his microphone in absolute chaos. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, I can't say not really a band that does it for me. Architects.
No, not me neither. But it'll be interesting to see if he is the same way.
Be like towards the back watching kind of thing.
That's cool, Strogs.
And go, you know, and do kind of a Matthew and James of like give them a couple of songs and go, sort of thing, do I like this or not?
The beer hut.
Find something else to do. Sort of thing.
The Sepultura thing.
Whereas like Opeth, I'm going to be at the back for Opeth. I'll be kind of probably middleish for Opeth because that'll be really good.
And plus, they put out the vote, didn't they? Because the Opeth are doing the fan voted set.
Yeah,
so that'll be a good thing. That'll be all their old stuff, basically.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And Monomarth are going to be good because it's a Monomarth.
Yep.
So
looking forward to it this year. The
Grand Majors are going to be good. I mean, Grand Majors are awesome.
The thing about the Sepultura thing, Strogs, this one, it'll be nice because it's their farewell. They're calling it a day, and they're recording apparently one song live from every venue and putting that out as a like an album, a sort of goodbye album, which will be interesting. You can see Phil. Look at the other guys in this chat and all on the screen. Look how much we've lost them all.
I'm not intrigued. It's lost me.
Sort of thing. Because it's on the Sophie stage, I reckon Combi Christ on Sophie stage, that will be really good.
Okay.
Especially the time there. So they've done main stage the other year and they were good, but I think they're probably more suited to tent rather than main stage.
The Sophie stage is really good. It gets like everyone quite close, doesn't it? It was like quite nice with Stengar there, where it was a front row, and actually get them to come down and say hi and stuff. Dave, what sort of music are you into, dude?
So,
I'm not. I only listen to it when Nat has it on.
All right, don't listen to music at all.
Say Terracon will be good.
Yeah.
I do like it when she's got it on, but I personally don't.
Yeah.
Not a music aficionado.
The David Attenborough birthday thing, it's unreal today, really, isn't it? I did hear that
98.
earlier. Yeah, 98. Also, yeah, Strogs, Cannibal Corpse. So they're playing. They're doing Bristol. They're doing London Roundhouse. They're doing Birmingham. They're doing another couple. I was going to get tickets for London, and then unfortunately, I read like the Roundhouse, and I was like, oh, okay, we're going to have a look. It's on a Sunday in London, which is a nightmare for me anyway. But also on top of that, when you look at the Roundhouse stuff, Roundhouse prefer you, even if you book through Ticketmaster, that you have to use the Roundhouse app to get the tickets. And there's been an absolute disaster for the last 12 months on their site where some people were queuing up, still not having their tickets received, couldn't get through to anyone because there's no one to answer the lines. And people were like literally having their tickets delivered to their app like 3 minutes before they were due to go in and stuff. And it's just such a ball ache that I just thought, I can't be bothered. I might go and see them in Bristol though, because Bristol isn't too bad a venue. Weirdly though, they have to remove all the seats from that venue just for the gig and then put them all back again. Weird.
And one man we'll go and see on the same stage. Friends of mine, Exist Immortal.
Nice.
I haven't seen them for years actually. I was playing them for years, but I know the vocalist, bassist, and guitarist. The vocalist, you've heard my old band stuff, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, the vocalist for Exist Immortal recorded my old band. He was our production engineer.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And then done guest vocals on a song. But he's got his own little recording studio, and we went to his.
I found. Do you remember I was telling you ages and ages and ages ago that there's a guy who works with me who played one of the gigs years ago before it was an outside open air gig and all this, that and the other. And he was like, I was trying to figure it out. And I said, when he mentioned all this, we all just laughed because looking at him, he looks like London City Bank or nice. Well, I've actually got one of his videos that's still on YouTube now. I will send you it because they recorded it in the car park at my work. Yeah, it's the most random video, but it's quite funny. I will send you the link, mate. Yes, Steve. Some of us have seen videos. We haven't had a live session, and I know that fact.
So you haven't seen it in the flesh.
He can't get to his drum kit. I know that for a fact right now.
Yeah, no.
But it would be cool. Maybe we could have a live drummer at your show, Phil. Maybe you should do that. The videos are cool. Watching Phil on video is pretty cool. We had a jamming session video that he shared a while back, and that was pretty cool, I will say.
It's been a few years now since I last sat behind a kit.
Lot of space, isn't it? Lot of space. I'm sure the animals would appreciate it. Right, guys. Anyway, it is 20 to midnight.
I should probably get going.
I'm going to end the stream. I do appreciate everyone coming along and the new faces and everyone jumping on and sort of saying hi. For the links that we put in earlier and people subscribing to those guys, I really do appreciate it, and I know they will as well. Waking up in the morning to a few more subscribers always puts a smile on your face. Unless you're doing it and putting the amount of effort into making the videos, probably you don't realise how much it means to these people when they do see someone sub to them. So,
why have you got a slug on a string?
A slug on a string? Yeah, it's the hanging slug.
It's a hanging slug.
Why?
It's a booger. It just fell out and he decided to video it.
I literally just opened my phone and I must have accidentally hit the Instagram button, and that's the first thing that popped up.
Was that after Jackie's OnlyFans?
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, both of you. So we will. I will end the stream, and it was really. I really appreciate everyone being on, and obviously I do apologise about the video today, but I did spend the entire day at a car showroom trying to sort out a car, so it will have to be towards the weekend. So cheers everyone on the panel for coming on, and cheers
Right,
everyone in
everyone.
the chat. And we'll
Right,
catch up
everyone.
with you at the weekend, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.